What's up, nerds? Nerd! Happy holidays to you, nerds. What's up, nerds? Goz Master here with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest, Teferi Temporal Pilgrim Bundle. I'm going to be going over the brand new mono blue walker from the Bros Woes.
I'll use my broadsword.
I'm going to be covering everything you get with him, the value he provides, and whether or not he's worth the IRL cash, the $24.99 American USD dollars that you can pick him up for now, or if you're watching this later when he's out for gold, is he worth the gold? We'll talk about all of that, plus his rankings on my tier list as we go into it. But before we jump into anything, I got two big announcements. Number one, thank you as always, Oktagon, for providing me access to this Planeswalker. Really appreciate you guys giving me access to this, and I hope that you guys, if you're watching this, are having a fantastic holiday along with everybody else. Thank you, thank you. Secondarily, it's the holiday season here in the United States. I think everywhere that supports Christianity, I have no idea. But it is the holiday season, and as we approach the end of the year, I've got gifts for you. I got 3 packs from DMU, not Bros Woes, but DMU, that I'm giving away right now. So let's get into the pack giveaways. You're going to see over to the left, we got the keyword bro. In the comment section, I'm giving away 3 DMU packs. They're special, they're snazzy, and you get a fair check at it if you comment bro in the comment section on the last video. So I've got 52 comments that came in. Let's start the raffle, shall we? Let's go. First winner is going to be Studacris. Bro was his only comment. So that's enough to get you a win. So Studacris, I will alert you. Congrats. I will send you a note, get into the Discord, and I'm going to need some information from you so that I can have Oktagon give you your pack directly. Very excited for you, man. Congrats. That's our first winner. Second one is going to be OMG Puppies. Bro, can I make a suggestion for future content? There's a Pauper MTG channel. I liked this comment. I watched. It was a recurring feature called Deck Doctor. I love that idea. If you guys would like me to start a Deck Doctor kind of series on these videos with all the infinite extra time I have, obviously, just let me know that you would like to see that and you have some deck suggestions. As always, you could do that inside the Discord as well. It's part of the option, but if you guys would like to watch the process for me testing and improving decks, I'd be happy to do that and show you guys my kind of Mad Lab approach to it. And our final winner here today is, for the last pack we have, Brett Tucker. Brett, bro, let's do this. Thank you for the video. Thank you, Brett, for your subscription, for your patronage, for your attention. It means a lot to me. If you, my friend, are not yet subscribed, you really should be. Hit the subscribe, the like, the comment button. It really helps the channel out and it would be greatly appreciated. With that said, let's get back to the action. Congratulations to the winners. Again, get in the Discord, let me know that you won, and I'll make sure those packs get out to you right away. I need some details. I'll message you in Discord. But before we go any further, let's get into the meat of what this is. Teferi Temporal Pilgrim Bundle, $24.99. You get 40 crystals, you get 20,000 runes, you get 120 gems, you get 3 blue packs. These are mono blue packs. And the percentages in them is 1.07 collectively. Again, I don't understand the math for masterpieces. You get the walker, and then if you have VIP like I do for this release, because there's a few cards I would definitely want, you get a bonus of 30 additional jewels, and that brings your total to 150 total. All right, let's go look at the walker himself. All right, here he is. Teferi at level 60. He winds up getting 108 life. He has his normal 3 abilities. Let's go over his color bonuses first. We're going to say 3 to white, 6 to blue, 3 to black, -3 to red, and then nothing to green. I like this spread. It gives a lot of solid color advantage to blue. I like this better. 6 or 7 for monocolor walkers and their primary colors is absolutely a mandatory thing. I don't like doing 3s all the way across the board. That is lame. Do not do that, Oktagon. And his static ability is Wisdom of the Past. When you draw a card during your turn, gain 1 loyalty. This effect can trigger up to 2 times per turn. I really don't like that at all. It's way too limited. Let it be like 3 to 5 times for us, because that is not that much loyalty, especially when you look at what our loyalty abilities cost. Speaking of loyalty abilities, our first one costs 8. Time to Ponder. Draw a card, gains 5 mana, gain 2 loyalty. Okay, so you spend 8, you get 2. Really, it's a net 6 cost. So if you draw 2 cards, that's 2. You make a swap of 3 loyalty gems, so that's 3. So actually, you get an extra loyalty every turn just for drawing a card, right? Just every turn you draw a card, you're getting a loyalty bump up. So you get 1 in 2 turns. Essentially, you have enough to do your secondary ability. Now, If you use your secondary ability, not only do you gain 2 loyalty, but you should gain the other loyalty as well, which would be 3 loyalty total. So that brings this down to a net of 5 for loyalty gain when you use it. So you should be able to spam this pretty big all the time, and that card gains 5 mana. And that's the key. If you keep stuff pretty low to the ground, it's going to allow you to be able to get into that a lot faster. Second one, Witness of History. So it's 14 loyalty. Create a Ghost of War's Past token. It gains Vigilance and Unblockable. Increase its level by 1. So a Ghost of War token, War Pest, I should say, Past, is a creature, spirit. It's a 2/2. Token level, resourceful 1. This creature gets +X. X is this card's level. So if you spam this, you do this multiple times, and you're focusing on drawing cards, essentially this creature gets a bonus of, well, it's not even just +1/+1, it is whatever the level is. So if you get 1 out, it's going to be 1 that it's going up by. If you have 2, if it reinforced twice, like you got this to cast two times, well, then you're getting a 4/4 creature that's getting a +1 or +2/+2 every time it's going along with, you know, drawing cards and doing some of the other stuff. But that's every time. Now, there is no limit to this one. So every time I draw a card, I'm spamming myself up. That becomes the crux of what you want to do to really beef this creature up. You focus on draw, and that critter is going to get big really, really quickly. We'll talk about that here as we go along. But for 14 loyalty, even if you're doing the 2 gains and all the other stuff that's going on, it's a little slow. Our third is Sever the Timeline. 25 loyalty. Return all opposing cards to their owner's hand. Drop to 4 cards. You may lose all your loyalty. If you do, cards in your hand gain mana equal to the loyalty you lost. Now here's the question, and this is something we're going to be exploring together. When does it give you the mana when you lose your loyalty? Because my max loyalty is like, what, 30? So that means I get 5 mana after I've triggered this ability, or do I get all 30 and I lose the loyalty and this is then free? I think it's the former, not the latter. Let's go check that out together. My initial thoughts on him, his life total is a little bit low at 108 because a lot of what he's doing is setup. I'm not a big fan of his passive ability. It's okay. Time to Ponder seems to me like it's going to be a little bit of a... It could be good if we spam the tar out of it and we keep our draw focus low and we're really concentrating on these first 2 synergizing really well together. The third one can be a nice little late game bomb to clear the board, but we will see. With that said, let's get into our Pauper build and see how he actually handles on the streets. Let's go put Teferi on the street. All right, here's our Pauper build. So Broker's Charm, best Pauper card for draw, damage, control, does all the things. Tainted Indulgence, Stratus Walk, gives you a thing permanent, flying, and draws a card. Flow of Knowledge, this is an interesting card. It helps to put cards in your yard, but in addition to that, draws X cards, which is the number of blue gems on the board. So if you can really clear your hand out, this can do a lot of draw. Let's see, Tolarian Geyser, great card. This is a great Pauper card for removal. It's a bounce card that doesn't care about how many cards are in your opponent's hand. Curse of the Surveillance, Sphinx's Tutelage. If we're going to be drawing all these cards, let's make everything cost more in their hand, allowing you to control the board a little bit faster. If we're drawing cards, we want to hurt our opponent. This is the card. Quasar Angor of Agonies, 12 mana. It's a legendary 3/4, 3 colors. So if you got Meeting of the 5, you can get it out quicker. Creature Cephalid Advisor. Cephalids are the worst. When you draw a card, your opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So it's a 2 drain impact per card you draw. Even your first card, there's no limit. It's a beast of a card. Works really, really well. Cut your losses to keep the mana flowing. And Energy Refractor here, it's absolutely a flex card. And let's get into the gameplay. All right, so here we are up against Jaya. I think arguably one of the best red walkers in the game, if not the best red walker in the game. There's that +9, way better than Koth. Oh my gosh, so much better than Koth. All right, well, let's get Quasar out. Let's make this happen. Maybe we can bounce into a white. Nope, that's all right. We got the blues. We got the Quasar. He gets flying permanently. It's not a one-time, mind you. It's a permanent one. So now we're gaining loyalty. And let's go see what we're up to. Let's go check our loyalty meter. We're gaining the life. We do the damage every time we draw the cards. We're at 7 loyalty right now. All right, we're going to go here. So we have 7 loyalty. He gets bigger. We do some damage. We draw a card in the Sphinx Tutelage. We gain the life. We do a damage. We're drawing cards. Dogs and cats living together. It is Chaos Asunder. We're drawing another card. We gain some life, do some damage. All right, so we should trigger on their turn too. So we drew 3 cards. So we're up to 11 loyalty. When you draw a card, you gain 1 loyalty. So that would have been 7 plus, that's 4 loyalty. That's actually accurate. So as it sits right now, just I'm trying to keep tabs of it. We're at 11 right now. So in our next organic draw, let's count the cards we draw, and we should be up 1 by each one of those. Let's do that. So here that comes. We're gaining loyalty as well. I'm half tempted not to do a thing, but we're gaining loyalty like crazy. So we don't want to kill our own creature because this guy's doing work for us. We're gaining and doing. Return target creature to its owner's hand. No, we're going to go ahead and just, not now, do damage. And we drew another card, so we should get another loyalty as well. And we should be pretty much to our 3rd ability here if we're just concentrating on draw. We're at 23 right now. We're almost to sever the timeline. But we're going to go ahead and use our secondary ability. We want to get this guy out as quickly as possible. We want to see how quickly he can ramp. So we're at 9 loyalty. Let's test all things here, shall we? All right, so we drew 1 there, so we should get a 1 there. That guy gets bigger. His level is 1. All right, they did some damage. He's got some hasty haste. He's going to come in and do some damage there. All right, cool. So our loyalty right now is at 10. Let's just go ham. Let's get ourselves to our secondary ability, shall we? And we want to go here. We're going to give him flying. Drew a card. We do some damage. We gain the life. We're going to give him flying again because, you know, fly's so nice we'll do it twice. And we're going to bounce that guy to hand. So we're going to hold off, and yeah, face strikes. Look at that. We're almost to full health here, yeah. Get all of that, and we want to bump our level by 2 for this guy. All right. Yeah, I mean, this guy, doing the 2/2s, the draining of 2 essentially from our opponent is solid. It takes a while, but it's solid. Let's go ahead and, actually, we want to do our secondary ability because I want our level to be 2 now. Our level is now, in fact, 2. You can see that there, teeny tiny. Swing, ping. We should draw a card here. There we go. Do some damage. We're at full health. And now he's going up by 2s instead of 1s, so he should be getting beefier pretty quickly. Not even spamming my first ability, really, which is fairly interesting. I'm really, with this build and the draw, I'm gaining all of the loyalty I really need to go do the things I'm trying to do. Kill that one. Draw the cards, and should be just continuing to get bigger. So it only happens once per turn. So it's not like we're able to go drive him up ridiculously amounts. That's what the 1 is next to resourceful. So, all right. Okay. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, that's a Pauper build that is, it's not, I don't want to say it's dominant, but this build does work well to kind of control the board. Does it control the board better than Chronoclast or taking extra turns with Master of Time? No, it's good, it's fun, but that ain't it. All right, let's get to our next build. All right, my friends, so normally I would go through the Peasant build, but I want to keep this video a little bit shorter. I'm not going to go through it. The key cards for draw in rare level are Winged Portent, Silver Scrutiny, and then of course the big baddie is Time Reversal. Each player discards all cards that can be discarded from their hand and draw that many cards. Each card in your hand gains X mana. X is the number of blue gems on the board, then exile this card. This is a great card that works really well with Teferi. The challenge is it's a PMA card, and it's one you're going to have to chase, so there you go. Let's get into our Mythic build. All right, so we're going to do battle against PMA Nissa. Let's get going. I really want to trigger a 3rd ability, so let's just make that happen right away. All right, Quaz is out, turn 1, and up to our 1st. So we will spam our 1st, this one, until we hit our 3rd. 10 loyalty right now, so we're going to go ahead and spam this one. Solid. We gain 2. So that does work. So when you cast your 1st, it's costing you a net of 5 loyalty because you're drawing a card and gaining 2 loyalty from that. As long as you have this ability triggered, when you draw a support card draw a card during your turn, you gain 1 loyalty. It's not even during your opponent's turn. It should just be whenever you draw a card. Come on, man. All right, we'll go white here. All right, so we've got our blue, we got our Mox Starfire rather on the board. We're taking damage. PMA Nissa's got a big board right now. We've got to try to recoup as much as we possibly can because this is going to get bad quick, man. See if we can't get that to trigger. It did. Great. So now we're going to get all of the loyalty, or not loyalty, but all of the mana conversion. Yeah, let's go ahead and destroy him. So we get another one. We really want to fill our hand up. We want to go ham. Let's go. We don't want to mess around. I don't think we have time against PMA Nissa. We've got to do the thing. Plus, I had another one in hand. That's the real reason I did it. All right, so now we draw the cards, do the thing. We do the damage. Oh, we didn't do the damage. We will, though. Boom, boom. There it is. And we're back up to almost full health. Let's do this. Draw a card. Gain some mana. Do the thing. Gain a life. Let's try this. Boom, boom. All right, we're into our third. All right, so we draw the 6 cards. We do all of the damage. It's pretty brutal. Oh, Kwanzaa is just ridiculous. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Or is it Kwaza? It's Kwaza, isn't it? Happy Kwaza. All right, so now we have a full grip of cards. We have no mana in any of them, so we will clearly see how much mana we gain when we use our third ability. All right, here it is. Ready? Experimente numero uno. Oh, shoot. That didn't work. Forgot about Tamio. Darn it, Tamio. Why did you work so well? Let's take an extra turn here. This will keep our hand open if we don't gain all the mana. Just go here. Boom. All right, so now we draw the cards. Now they have no mana. All right, now we can do the thing. Let's go do the thing, shall we? So, all these cards in hand, no mana whatsoever. Let's use our ultimate ability. Boom. Return all opposing cards to their owner's hands. Drop to 4 cards. You may lose all your loyalty. If you do, cards in your hand gain mana equal to the loyalty you lost. So technically it should be 5 loyalty. And that's all that it is. That is super frickin' lame. That is ridiculously lame. That is the lamest. That is lame. Come on, Oktagon. Just give us 30 loyalty. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Ooh, that is really upsetting. And it didn't even send back the token creatures. Why didn't it destroy the token creatures? Return all opposing cards, well, it's not a card, it's a token, to their owner's hand. Drop to 4 cards. You may lose all your loyalty. If you do, cards in your hand gain mana equal to the loyalty lost. See, now I'm curious. If there's no room in hand, is that why this creature didn't go back? I'm going to have to play test that and see. The first and second are neat. I'm going to keep Blitz. I'm not going to lie. That is pretty powerful. Yeah, and then our guy just gets the board and we win. So Academy Elite with a lot of draw is OTK, by the way. So if you don't have it, it absolutely is an OTK. So that is what we're featuring. I'm sure I put that on the headline and the graphic thumbnail somewhere that's spotlighting a really powerful OTK. That was it. Draw a bunch of cards, get Academy Elite on the board, win the game. It's a masterpiece, so good luck hunting that down. But it is worth chasing. It's a powerful, stupid card with its own built-in haste in blue that is a power killer. All right, I'm going to go play test that thing I was thinking about a second ago, and then I'll be back with my final thoughts here. Okay, so here's the test. I have my full loyalty ability. I have a creature on board that is a non-token, so it's an actual card, and he's got one other thing, support Fear of Death, and he's got a full grip, so he's got a full hand. So in doing this, we have 29 loyalty, so I'm going to gain 4 mana. Woo friggin' who. But let's use our third ability. Okay, good. So it was just a token creature. We do want to confirm and gain the 4 loyalty, whatever it is. And that's essentially why it didn't work. So tokens don't count as cards, they're tokens, so it will not bounce tokens to hand. Should be bounce all of their permanents to hand. Oktagon, why not? It's kind of silly for it not to. Let's win the game, shall we? Let's go boom. We're going to say keep Blitz. And we have not a lot. I expected more. It's only 96. It is what it is. We'll take it. We will win. All right, now let's get to the wrap-up. Okay, so here we are for the wrap-up for Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. What are my final thoughts on him? Life total is good. It's okay. If you're playing with Queza, he becomes an instant life gain. There's really not much other life gain. It becomes a necessary creature that you have to have Queza. So that is a very card dependent. Fortunately, it's an uncommon, and it's a great set you should be collecting in full anyway. So I would very much suggest that you can go target the commons uncommons within Streets of New Capenna, which I argue is the best set in Standard right now. Like, not even close. Those cards are great, so you want them anyways. So you should go get Queza. His passive ability, I wasn't too impressed with in the beginning, especially when my first impressions in the first build pre-recording, I actually tried to put together a loyalty ramp deck, and there's not a lot. So his passive is pretty much the only way you're going to ramp into your second and thirds. And so my first couple of games playtesting, I was like, dude, you can't even get into his third. Like, what good does it do? But concentrating on draw and in just focusing on that, like that becomes the crux of your gameplay. The only thing you're doing with Teferi is you're using draw. Draw is your number one priority, and with Queza you have life gain. So between those two things, you cover the necessities of that. Then it's just win con. How do we win? How do we control the board? How do we go from there? So I really do like his passive ability. It's a really well-balanced, good passive, and it works really well. You just have to build around draw. All right, second one, Witness of History. It's a good little deal. It's a little bit slower than I'd like it to be because it only triggers the one time basically per turn. I would love for it to be Resourceful 3, at least a Resourceful 2. If it were a Resourceful 2, that creature could be a win con in and all of itself, and I would definitely recommend that. 14 Loyalty is a bit steep, but as we saw in the gameplay, you ramp up fairly quickly if you're concentrating on draw strategies. You're going to get into them fairly quickly. Even at the Pauper level, without too much meat to go beat your opponent with, this creature got pretty big pretty quick, and you're winning within about 8 to 10 turns, or your goes. Finally, Sever the Timeline, 25 Loyalty. A lot of criticism about it. It's good. It's a really good come-from-behind tool. I often talk about certain planeswalkers that don't have the ability to come from behind, giggle. So this one is a good one, as long as it's not against a token beatdown. So if you're going up against a Johnny or something like that, it will not remove the tokens. Those are going to stay on board, and that's very frustrating because those aren't cards. Those are tokens. I would implore you, Oktagon, change the wording on this to all permanents, or everything that they own on their side, every permanent they own, is returned to hand. And as a result, it destroys. That's a great thing about it, is if you don't have room in hand, it destroys whatever they had that we're going to send to hand. It gets rid of them. So that's great. That would have been brutal if that did not work that way. So for that, that's a plus. Because it doesn't impact tokens, that's a huge minus. Third is the mana thing. You might as well not even have that line in there. If you decide to, you can gain that extra. It's 5 mana. You're not gaining anything out of that. Change that. Make this ultimate one of the best by actually giving us 30 mana to hand. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would allow us to have synergy with a one-color walker and actually do some dominant things with it. As it is right now, I'm not a fan of the third ability. I think that Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, the Vanguard, and the Planeswalker, both third ability, are way better than this one, period, point blank, because it gets rid of everything. And in fact, I would prioritize them in that order. Vanguard, actual Planeswalker, Hero of Dominaria, and then Temporal Pilgrim's third ability here. It is good. It will bring you back from behind, but it's not a great ultimate. It's okay. The first and second are way better. Also for loyalty gains or for mana bonuses, 3, 6, 3, -3, and 0. I love this. I think these are great for a mono walker. I really don't ever want to see us do +3s or 4s for monocolor walkers. As you could see in the gameplay, I was able to use the abilities and ramp into what I wanted to cast fairly easily. Overall, the synergy of this walker is good. I actually really like this walker a lot. Where do I put him in a tier? I still think Master of Time is better. I think Chronoclast has more control with the PMA cards. If you have those, Chronoclast becomes kind of a natural, but he can run all of the Chronoclast cards and still do the things you want. So with that said, I want to put him in an A- or a B+, especially if you have Academy Elite. If you got Academy Elite, this guy is a no-brainer one-turn win con. I mean, it is brutal how good he is. You have a lot of options right now with the current meta and what cards are available for him. So is he worth the $24.99 American USD dollars to you? See, that's a question you have to answer. It's hard for me to justify you spending your own hard-earned money. For me personally, I think he's great. I actually had a lot of fun with him. I want to play with him more. My only criticism is that third ability. If you gave me 30 loyalty, he would be a no-brainer all day long. For gold, I would say he's definitely worth picking up. I know you could be anywhere in the world. You chose to spend this time with me here, but get in the Discord because I'm going to continue to play with this guy, especially as I get some more of these new Urza cards and some of the Mishra cards. I want to build out builds for him that allow him to take full advantage of the Urza set right now. I really, like, I'm on the edge of declaring this the second best set in meta right now in Standard. I really like the cards in here. I just don't have them yet. Blade Coil, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get that card because that card is going to be broken, and Blade Coil would work amazing in this deck as well. Might be another one that works really, really well instead of Academy Elite. So there's lots of great cards available to drive this. The meta is really strong for blue, especially with PMA stuff, and of course if you got Mox, Sapphire, go have some fun and just cast all the things you want per turn. Always, my friend, I appreciate you, and until our next quest,